next part is to talk a little bit about some questions we teed up, and we're just going to round robin and get any thoughts. It's more of a pretty rapid question answer type of thing, get some thoughts from each of the panelists here. So the first question is, what was the biggest barrier to undertaking the transformation, this DevOps journey that you've all kicked off and have been going at for different time periods, but what is the biggest barrier for that undertaking?
Yeah, this is Max from H&I. For us, and my team specifically, the biggest barrier was convincing all of the disparate parties that were performing activities that we could better systematically control and then automate when we were going forward. So showing that this tool could make their lives easier versus perhaps taking their job away or adversely affecting was really our biggest barrier.
Got it. Anybody else want to comment on that?
Rob Elliott at Starkey here. Our biggest barrier was, at the time, we were in the process of implementing Oracle EBS when we acquired FlexDeploy, and we were actually running two ERPs, with redundant capability. We had our legacy mainframe that we were transitioning out of and trying to get into Oracle EBS, pretty much all of our business lines. And so just finding the time to tackle, a DevOps deployment software in the context of trying to implement Oracle, it was always seen as being something ancillary, something that we could potentially live without. But we didn't know what we didn't know. Once we got into it, I don't think we really want to look back.
Right. Yeah, good point. And we hear that frequently, where it's how do we spend time investigating or evaluating? Well, I think the light comes on, as you mentioned, where once you get through that, then you flip over the coin and say, how the heck did we live that long without having a solution? So it's neat that you're able to bust through that and be able to make that decision to move forward. Anything else on this one?
Yeah, I think for us, it's that once you get started, this moves so quickly. Getting, the people who are engaged in it actively start moving quickly, and getting the rest of the organization to then catch up and keep pace is difficult. That, I think, was the biggest barrier for us. Was you got some people who are ready to move full steam ahead, and it doesn't move in part, right? You need everybody to move. And so getting other people to come along was probably our biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's interesting in the sense that there's that, I think, time and time again, this notion of DevOps in the broader sense being have a deep cultural and people aspect. Much of what can be sometimes attributed to change management, I think I'm hearing you say, Jared, right? So how do you get alignment of the people and to think differently? And once you get some of that alignment and people to come along, then good things happen. And then in many cases, people just want to get on and keep rolling. So that's cool. So how about on to the next one?